think I know why he's ramping things up. Friday, homework is due, folks. Homework is due. Friday is the deadline for... Holy crap. Friday is the deadline for the Epstein files from the DOJ to officially be released. And... This is weird. And, you know, I think they're scared. Genuinely, I think they're scared. Yeah. I think the Trump administration is a little afraid of what might come out in these files. Now, that is if they don't absolutely cover it in redactions or just flat out refuse to release them. But I think because it'll be highly talked about at that point, they're trying to distract you with this offensive against Venezuela. As long as this continues, you will never have health care. You will never have affordable housing. Never have public transit. You will be stuck in traffic for a third of your life. You will work until you die. You will probably eventually become a slave to a business owner if things continue this way. You will never be able to live a happy life like the elders before you. You'll never be able to make it to retirement age. And if you do, you're going to be working until you're dead. You'll never be able to afford going to the doctor. You'll probably die from some illness because you can't afford it. I mean, that's just some of the things that will happen. You won't be able to afford food anymore. I'll tell you that. Just some of the things that will occur. You know, without any realistic changes in the way that our government works in anything. Here's another photo. Here's the President of the United States with a bunch of women. This photo's in the Epstein House Oversight Committee files. We're also still waiting on the release of the grand jury files from, you know, the Florida case in 2007. Here's Noam Chomsky with Steve Bannon in these files. Presumably Epstein took this photo based on some of the other photos. What's going on here? Why is he doing this? You know, why is he hanging out with Steve Bannon? I've never really been a big fan of Noam Chomsky anyways, so I don't really, this doesn't really affect me all that much. Here's a previously released photo of Alan Dershowitz with Jeffrey Epstein. This photo's been released before by a publication, but obviously it's part of the House oversight files that were given to them by the subpoena on the Epstein estate. I saw a lot of Republicans trying to be like, some of these photos have been released before, man. And I think it's like 2 or 3. It's like that House Oversight Committee, I believe, has tens of thousands of photos, like a lot to go through. And this is just some of them. So, like, who cares if a couple of them have been released before? Which one? What was the other one that they were like, this one's been released before? Guys, this one's been released before. See, these aren't new. They were trying to community note me on Twitter. Let me see if that community note ever went through. I think it'll be the first time I've ever been successfully community noted. See, I posted the link. Yeah. Okay, it never successfully did it. Here's the community note. Any note with the Dropbox link. Senior journalists at BBC verify only some of the 19 photos released by Democrats on the House Oversight Committee appear to be new. Some have been around for years. For example, these photos are not new. Who cares? See, this one, the one with Prince Andrew. Okay. The one with Alan Dershowitz. Okay. And oh, this one. Yeah, because I know I've seen this one before with a Victoria's Secret model. Okay. Who cares? Those aren't even like the worst of the photos. We're just going to start community noting these posts because of nitpicks. We're not going to acknowledge the photo of Trump with the girls, or we're not going to acknowledge, like, you know, the photos with Steve Bannon, or I don't know, one of the more damning ones, which this one's not too damning, but one of the more like notable ones is this autographed photo of Bill Clinton. I mean, come on. Holy crap, this dude wrote a fucking novel in the comments of, if you're writing a novel in the comments on Dropbox, you've lost the plot. Holy crap. Jesus Christ. Yeah, Nate Coleman writing all this shit about Trump being innocent. Holy shit, dude. Novelist over here. Here's a cute little selfie with Epstein and Steve Bannon. Hey, taking a selfie with my boo. Just a little cheeky selfie with my boo. This photo has to be like from the year that he died, right? He looks so like old in this photo. He just looks like how he did the year that he died. I feel like this is probably one of the last photos of him. Like, there's no way. I don't know. I guess we'll see when they drop another fucking 2 photos next week. I wish they would just start dropping them like crazy. I know that they have to like redact victims, but I wish they would just start rapid firing them off. They need to speed that up a little bit. Here's a photo of former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak. Yeah, like that one guy has a point. Hey, Ghislaine, wouldn't it be funny if I just randomly took a photo of this guy on his phone? Yeah, this guy is Ehud Barak, the former Prime Minister of Israel. Like, come on. Oh my god, there's an anti-Semite in the fucking comments, dude. Jesus. But yeah, I mean, is that not fishy with all the news about like Mossad agents staying at Epstein's properties, or Epstein's suspicious connection with Israel? I mean, there's just a photo of him and Ehud Barak, or of Ehud Barak in like his, what I presume to be one of his residencies. So I don't know, man. Oh yeah, Woody Allen's in some of these. I believe Bill Gates is in one of these. Where's he at? Yeah, sorry, some of these are sideways, by the way. Yeah, here's Bill Gates. Here's some businessman. And then here's like another photo of Donald Trump. Yeah, I mean, you can go find these photos. Here's Epstein, you know. Yeah. You can go find these photos. This one's kind of funny. I'm huge. I'm huge. Yeah. Woody Allen and Epstein, circle jerk buddies. Jesus. What is wrong with this John Doe guy? There's a reason why he had to put John Doe, by the way, on his account name, because he'd probably get fucking eviscerated at his job for saying shit like that. Why do y'all have to bring anti-Semitism into it? Why can't y'all just criticize that there's a notorious sex predator, child trafficker, and notorious adopted daughter marrying child predator Woody Allen talking to each other on like a film set? I mean, come the fuck on. Why do you have to bring in like in anti-Semitism on that? There's so much to work off of. You don't have to be racist with it. Yeah. So there you go. There's the new batch of Epstein files. Hopefully we'll get the real thing on Friday, but I kind of doubt it. I just realized this comes out on Friday, so hopefully we got the real thing today. I hope. You know, one can hope. I guess this is like the pedophile version of that Situation Room photo when they killed Osama bin Laden. This is like the pedophile version of that. Holy crap. Do you see that? Stop trying to automatically balance the white balance, bro. Just make me orange. Shit. Make up your mind. Yeah, this is like the pedophile version of the Situation Room photo. This one's even worse. This one's like a 1-to-1. Oh my god. I hope you guys know what I'm talking about. Oh my god. This fucking photo, man. This is like the most famous photo of the Situation Room of all time. This photo right here. Look at that. Look at the fucking... No wonder this guy looked old as hell by the time he left office, man. No wonder. No wonder he aged like fucking 25 years in the matter of 8 years. Look at the stress. Look at the veins popping on this dude's head. Also, I'm fucking dressed like a mechanic today. But yeah, I mean, this is the bulk of the oversight committee's photos. Here's him with some women. I mean, no one's surprised. I'm glad that we have these photos, but no one's surprised by these. Give us the damning stuff. Like, the super serious, like, bombshell stuff. Like, here's just more photos of Steve Bannon. Also, hold on. What a narcissist, bro. Bro's got a photo of himself on the desk. Jesus. Narcissist alert. Fuck. Yeah, more photos of Steve Bannon. You know, here's him meeting with more guys, you know, notable people, notable figures. But like I said, the oversight committee is losing a lot of steam in my eyes. Oh, this is kind of cool. A map of Epstein Island. It's marked like a fucking treasure map, dude. What is that? What does that say? Fish K? Oh, that's kind of cool. Anyway. This is the weirdest building. I guess this is from the inside. But it's, you know, the Epstein Island Mecca building. This is like one of the weirdest parts of the island. And I want to know what's in the temple. Here's some kind of like warehouse space, some interior areas of the island, I guess blueprints of the structural plans of the island, stuff like that. Overall, nothing super damning. Or not damning, but nothing super like revealing, I guess. It's just shit we already knew. I want to see like the real shit, which will not be in the form of photos. I know they keep dropping more and more photos like yeah, we're gonna, you know, look at these photos and you know, I don't know. Yeah, drop these photos. We're gonna get something really revealing in them. I'm sure we will have some super like bombshell photos, but I want to see the records. I want to hear I want to hear the notes they jotted down. I want to see what they found, what crimes were committed. I want to see stuff like that. Here's one guy posting about the thing I just showed you. Legitimately, dude, what the fuck is this? Yeah, this is pretty nuts. The Epstein grand jury documents just released are entirely redacted. Holy shit. People are posting. Okay, so this is the other weird note about the files is that they included a lot of photos of not Jeffrey, of Bill Clinton with girls, but like instead of releasing photos of Bill Clinton with girls, and that be that, almost all of the redacted photos have Bill Clinton, like where they've redacted everyone in the photos. Let's see. Those are in dataset 2, in case you're wondering. A lot of the photos of people like Epstein and Bill Clinton and all that, they are in dataset 2. So let's see what we got. God, it's so hard to scroll through these. I should have like picked some out. Oh, there's also like those infamous photos of Ghislaine Maxwell giving Epstein a foot massage with her boobs out, which is pretty crazy. There's another one where she's like sitting down in a bathrobe and just is showing full everything, and they've censored it obviously. It's her like sitting in like a Porsche. I gotta find these photos of Bill Clinton, man. God, dude, Ghislaine Maxwell is such a fucking weirdo. All the photos of her are just like weird as hell. She's having way too much fun on that island. Way too much fun. I mean, I'll show you one of the Bill Clinton photos from the tweet. Like, yeah, we know. I like how MAGA guys will post shit like this and be like, "Pedo," and it's like, yes, yeah, probably. But so far, like, other than like photos of him with redacted women, he's one of the most exonerated people in this whole thing. Like, he's photographed with a lot of Epstein associates. He's photographed with Epstein a lot, but like but like he doesn't have a whole lot connecting him to Epstein other than that. But yeah, if y'all have proof, if y'all have even more proof of Epstein's connection to Bill Clinton, keep it rolling, man. I want to see all of it. You could, if you told me Obama was connected to Epstein, okay, go ahead and show me the proof, and I'll believe it. Go for it. Oh no, Winnie the Pooh is in the Epstein files? Oh, fuck, man. Well, that sucks. Yeah, the thing that even got me to go and look at all these files entirely was um the giant black screen for some of the files. Also, this is what I'm talking about when I say that they unnecessarily redacted a lot of photos. You might be thinking like, "Oh, it's because of the victim. It's because of the victims." Here's a photo of Bill Clinton and Michael Jackson. This photo has been redacted to all hell. However, curiously, this photo has already been public for years. Here's the original angle. So it does seem like a lot of the redacted girls next to grown men in a lot of the photos appear in just the Bill Clinton photos or just the Jeffrey Epstein photos. Nobody else. What is this? That's kind of freaky looking. Epstein's infamous blue dress Clinton painting was hung in a private office in Epstein's New York home. He had a surveillance room? Oh, that's crazy, man. I love that everyone keeps trying to say that Epstein leads to Clinton, not Trump. It leads to both of them, bro. They were friends. They were friends, bruh. They were literally friends. They need the unredacted files. People are not going to believe this shit. Here's another photo of Bill Clinton. Here you go. Him and Jeff Epstein. New York financier Jeff Epstein. Here's him in the bathtub. See, like, we have no idea if this is a real victim or not because they've redacted everybody. Yeah. They just need to go ahead and start punishing the DOJ on a congressional level for this. I think the reason why he pushed the entire House and Senate to vote for this unanimously is because he knew this was going to happen. He knew the DOJ wasn't going to comply. And he knows that they won't get enough support in the House or the Senate to punish or go after the DOJ for anything. Like, they won't get enough support. Especially because, like, Marjorie Taylor Greene's going away in, like, a couple weeks. They just don't have the votes to punish the DOJ, it seems. This is such a disaster for the Trump administration. A lot of his supporters do see through it, so ignore a lot of the noise that's like, look, guys, Bill Clinton's in all of these, you know. Trump did nothing wrong. Ignore a lot of those guys. A lot of Trump's supporters see what's going on. He wouldn't be ferociously withholding these files if there wasn't something damaging against him in them. There's no reason for him to. There just isn't. Yeah, Grand Jury New York, and it's like a billion fucking pages that are redacted. Here, let me find. What is this? It just looks like more photos of people. Probably photos of women. So you're telling me we can lightly redact photos of Jeffrey Epstein with women and victims and stuff like that, but we have to full page redact like grand jury files and stuff? Look at that, dude. This shit's ridiculous. Here. Scroll down to the bottom. There you go. It's 119 pages of nothing. That's insane. If we want to go download these, I mean, there's no reason to. Really, because you don't know how much they've manipulated these files. Like, let's be real. They're just completely. You can even tell by the case numbers on the files that there is a lot of stuff missing from these files. All right, let's move on to the biggest development to come out of 2025. And I didn't talk about it too much yet, but because I wanted to wait until now to do it. The Jeffrey Epstein files. I know it kind of fell out of the news cycle a little bit, but it's probably going to come back in a big way because I'm sure some new stuff is going to come out, or Ro Khanna and Massey are just waiting for Congress to reopen. Here's what happened. The Trump Department of Justice dropped a bunch of files, but they redacted the shit out of most of them. Here's a piece of one that I was able to unredact by copy and pasting. All right, this is great. In November 2017, Indike signed a foundation check made payable to the immigration lawyer in New York who was involved in one or more forced marriages, arranged among Epstein's victims to secure a victim's immigration status. The check's memo line references the former Russian model's last name. JSC Interiors, LLC, is a New York limited liability company, the articles of organization of which were filed in November 2014. The articles list JSC, who was forced and coerced to have sex with Epstein, as the company's sole owner. JSC was manipulated, exploited, and controlled by the Epstein enterprise. Now, what was originally redacted on that page, you might be wondering? Indike, and JSC Interiors LLC. Any mention of JSC or anything relating to that are redacted. Why? Because the goal of these files dropping is to hide any reason. The goal of redacting all these files is to hide any reason why, like any reason as to how Epstein got his money. Why he had all this money, how he got all of it, how he maintained his status amongst the ultra wealthy. There were releases in these files of co-conspirators. Someone who's been making a lot of good videos on this was CoffeeZilla. I can type. CoffeeZilla has been making a lot of good videos on this. Where's his second channel? He has a second channel. Shit. Where is it? He's been talking about the Epstein stuff for a long time now. Not Coffee Break, is it? No, where is it? What? Oh, Voidzilla. He's been talking about the Epstein stuff a lot. First they released a bunch of stuff with Bill Clinton in it, with random redactions of people that didn't need to be redacted. Like there's the photo of him with Michael Jackson, and the kids that are redacted in the photo are just like Michael Jackson's kids, and like like the photo's been released before unredacted by like the press. After I recorded my episode talking about it, the Trump administration removed 16 of the files, one of which was this photo of Donald Trump, like in Epstein's desk. Look, CNBC even censored the girls in the photos. But Trump is in a photo in his desk drawer. There's like the famous photo of all four of them. Trump, his wife, Epstein, and Ghislaine Maxwell. But then there's this other photo of him with like women. And they removed this file. And then they ended up removing more files. And I pointed out on Twitter that it's very weird, that photo in particular, because there's another photo of that desk in the files. I said it seems during their investigation back then, someone ordered they remove that Trump photo for a second evidence photo without it. Photo 1346. And here it is. A photo of the same desk. You know, you still got the photo of Trump and Epstein on the desk. But now the photo is gone. It looks like they rearranged pieces of the desk. I mean, look, there's this huge photo album and, you know, presumably photos that the DOJ has. There's, you know, all these other photos in here, all these documents, and then, like, the documents are still there. The photo album has been closed now, and the photo of Trump is nowhere to be found. What's up with that? And I pointed this out because I was like, what the fuck? Why would they take another evidence photo later on? You know, same desk, but it's obviously been tampered with. I mean, you don't take the first evidence photo. You know, suddenly people have been arrested and evidence being collected and everything, and then they tamper with the scene and take another evidence photo. This time, suspiciously without the photo of Trump. So, it's all weird. I also pointed out that there's the photo of Ehud Barak, former Israeli prime minister. I mean, fucking sky is blue, water's wet, dog bites man. Fuck, I don't even know what to say anymore, people. How much more of a fucking connection does Israel have to have with Jeffrey Epstein? I know you don't hear it much from mainstream news outlets because they like to report on the possible connection with Trump and Epstein, and I feel like people are missing the forest for the trees. I feel like people are focusing way too tunnel visioning hard on the president, and they're missing all the other stuff too. Focus on all of it. There's a Trump connection here that's stronger than most people's connection. We just don't have the concrete, hard evidence available to us right now because the administration in charge is ran by the guy we want the evidence of. Of course he's not going to release that. He even goes as far, I have a thing in here, he goes as far as saying he doesn't want any more files released. I mean, come on. Of course they're not going to release anything with him in it. But people are like then actively ignoring how he was getting his money. Where's all the money coming from? All the co-conspirators. You know, they're ignoring all that because they're just tunneling in on this. Look at all of it. Expand your horizons, people. You won't hear about the Israel connection because it's mainstream media. They don't even report on the genocide in Gaza. They're not going to report about the Mossad agents staying at Epstein's properties. The weird connection that three Israeli prime ministers have with Jeffrey Epstein. Netanyahu, I'm pretty sure, knew Epstein. But Ehud Barak was the prime minister in the early 2000s of Israel, and he has a pretty strong connection to Epstein. Like, you guys need to look at all of it, not just this part. Look at all of it. You know, the reason why I say that is because these guys take that and they spin it. You know, they spin it around. They go, look, they have Trump derangement syndrome. They're focusing too much on Trump. You know, they just want to ruin Trump's image. That's what they use it for. They use it to run that narrative. Meanwhile, there's all this other stuff. You know, they can use that to not only make you be like, oh, that way their supporters are like, oh, the Epstein files are not real, or they're not what they say they are. They just want to smear Trump's good name. And they completely ignore all the other connections to stuff. And it's weird, like, they'll do all that and then they go, oh, but Bill Clinton. Yes, all of them. There was a TikTok I saw of a girl talking about that island that all the billionaires go to on New Year's Eve, where like most of the world's wealth is just collected on this one part of an island. And look at how close that island is to Jeffrey Epstein's island. People. My God. Yeah, and they've been doing a lot of really funny, embarrassing stuff. Like the database that they built on the website, which sucks, by the way. If you type in Trump's name, you'll get no results. But if you type in Trump with a space afterwards, you'll get like 600 results or something like that. It's crazy. Searchable database. What is this link?
Were supposed to be searchable. In the very plain language of the text of the bill, it says they had to be delivered in a searchable and publicly accessible format. And right now, as we sit here today at 4:54, the full Epstein library on the Department of Justice's website doesn't have search function.
This is when they first dropped on the due date. They had a full month to build the easiest thing you can build, a search function for files. Basically built-in Control F amongst a bunch of files. Super easy. And yet they didn't have it on like day one.
Now, there is a note on their website that says, due to technical limitations in the format of certain materials, e.g. handwritten text, portions of these documents may not be electronically searchable and may produce unreliable search results. But they are entirely not functionally searchable right now. And so if you're a survivor sitting...
Multi-trillion-dollar institution, the federal government, can't do what Google does and has been doing for almost 40 years. Let that sink in. Open the door and let the sink come in. Insane. They were dragging their feet for so long on this searchable database. Someone made one for them. This guy made... he hasn't kept it updated anymore because there's better sources now. But he made a searchable database of all the Epstein files. So this is ridiculous. But since we're on the topic of databases that you can search through, I want to show one of the coolest things I've seen. So, oh my God, they keep adding new stuff. I want to show one of the coolest things that they've added, that someone's made regarding the Epstein files. So if you go to jmail.world, it'll bring you to this website. And this is a complete recreation of Google products in the style of like you're logged in as Epstein. Got all these Epstein emails. Yeah, I believe these are based on his actual emails. I think some of them are, yeah. But it's pretty funny. And then you can also go to, you can click on the waffle, you go to J Photos. You can actually search the photos based on like, person that appears in them. Where's the Jean-Luc Brunel? Why did they never put him on here? He's in a lot of these. I don't know why they never put Jean-Luc Brunel as a searchable person on these things. And then you can go to J Drive. You could search through all the PDF files and all the documents. How cool is this? Oh, wow. Look at that. It's just like Google Drive. Look, they even have it all sorted: DOJ disclosures, Epstein or estate production, House oversight. You can go to J Flights and look at all of the flights that Epstein took. Oh wow. Wow, would you look at that? How cool is that? And you have a list of all of his flights. You know, all of his available flight records. Man, he was visiting that island a lot. Ooh, wow. Would you look at that? I mean, how neat is this? Oh, I wonder where that one's from. Ben Gurion Airport. Oh, fuck me, man. Oh, jeez. When does he visit Israel? That one's kind of interesting. I want to know when he visits Israel. Damn, I have no idea. So yeah, I mean, yeah, you can search it with just Jeffrey, with guests, empty legs. I don't know what that one is. Yeah, pretty cool. You can go to Gemini. What's on your mind, Jeffrey? If you click on this, it says Jeffrey's email and it says, "Hi, Jeffrey." You go to JVR and like look in his rooms pretty much in like a 3D kind of space sort of thing. Granted, there's nothing behind you, but it is kind of cool. Go to Jamazon. Oh, wow. You look at his order history. Here's where he bought the annotated Lolita, revised and updated. And I believe it will actually take you to the link. Oh, wow. The Devil's Bargain. Oh, wow. I believe it will actually take you to the Amazon link that you can buy it from. Cool as that. I didn't mean to exit full screen. I want the full effect. Oh yeah, this is the one that you have to like back out of. I already went to Amazon. So then down here, they've added this new taskbar. So you can like go to even more places like Jotify. You can, I guess, listen to court depositions and stuff like that. Oh, damn. That one didn't work. I don't know why these aren't working.
Good morning.
Morning.
Can you please state your full name for the record?
Redacted.
So, I recognize that you are wearing a mask and behind plexiglass. There's a microphone in front of you. Good afternoon, Special Agent Redacted.
Good afternoon.
Could you please state and spell your full name for the record?
Redacted.
Where do you currently work?
The FBI.
What is your title there?
Special Agent.
How long have you worked?
Oh, wow. This is a lot of work that went into this one, man. This is awesome. You can also go to JMessage. Look at his text messages with Steve Bannon, I guess. Damn. Okay. You can go to Facebook. It literally looks like Facebook too. That's the craziest part. Like here's Bill Clinton's profile on Facebook. Look at his friends. Look at his timeline. Pretty crazy, isn't it? This is the photo I'm talking about, by the way, with Michael Jackson. Yeah, this whole website's really cool. Oh, this is Kevin Spacey mentioned. This whole website's really cool. I highly recommend you check it out. It's just a really good collection of all of the Epstein files. I mean, what do you even say? Some of the files were completely redacted.
As possible.
You talk about blacking out. I don't know if I can get a close-up of my phone. This is one of the documents that the Justice Department released. It's 100 pages.
Right,
This is what it looks like. I don't know if you can see. It's all black. It's just 100 pages of redaction. That's That's the transparency we're getting here.
Right, and I'll point to as much of this as possible.
Isn't that crazy?
This is one of the documents that the Justice Department released. It's 100 pages.
Right,
This is what it looks like. I don't know if you can see. It's all black. It's just 100 pages of redaction. That's the transparency we're getting here.
Right.
And I think they've unredacted some of those to some extent. But it's just insane that they thought they could get away with releasing that in the first place. Here's Maria Farmer. She submitted I just bit my tongue, a tip to the FBI in the 90s regarding Epstein. And people didn't believe her for a long time. And part of the Epstein files was that her report was in there. The tip to the FBI was in the files, thus confirming 30 years later that she really did tip off the FBI. Maria Farmer. The New York Times contacted her. She said, "I've waited 30 years. I can't believe it. They can't call me a liar anymore." How sad is that? You know, elite pedophile ring in the elite circles. And the FBI was just doing nothing about it. Here's the Colombian president, because, you know, Trump's making threats against Colombia right now. Here's the Colombian president saying a clan of pedophiles wants to destroy democracy in Colombia.
Un clan de pedófilos quiere acabar la democracia en Colombia. Duro.
Harsh, yes, but that's the reality.
Ahí está la realidad.
And to keep the list from coming out, they send warships to kill fishermen from this city and threaten the neighbor, talking about dictator and so on. As if the people of Colombia would applaud an invasion of their brother. Yeah. Yeah, a clan of pedophiles. How awesome is that? So here's what the response will be for violating the Epstein Transparency Act. Here's Thomas Massey on Face the Nation.
What are you going to do about it to force them to comply? I mean, can you do anything?
Oh, absolutely. Look, people have talked about, and by the way, Todd Blanche is the face of this, but it's really the Attorney General's office, Pam Bondi, who is responsible. And there are several ways to get at this. Some take longer, some are shorter. The quickest way, and I think most expeditious way to get justice for these victims is to bring inherent contempt against Pam Bondi, and that doesn't require going through the courts. And give her, and basically Rokan and I are talking about and drafting that right now.
What are you going to do?
We should impeach Pam Bondi. I saw Tim Kaine, who's a Democratic senator, go on the news and say, it might be too soon to impeach. This is why your fucking candidate, Hillary fucking Rodham Clinton, lost the 2016 election because you aren't bold and brave enough to do what's required. This is why. This is why you're a lame ass senator. Why you suck as a Democrat. This is why. I don't know. I mean, they can just violate an act of Congress, and I guess we just kind of have to sit around and wait and see. No, we shouldn't. My God. If Congress made an act that said the president cannot kill somebody with his own hands, and then the moment he signs it into law, he kills somebody in his office with his own hands, is Congress supposed to just sit there and go, let's just wait and see what happens? Wait and see for what? What do you mean it's too soon? They didn't comply with the release date. They were releasing stuff days after the due date. Look, There was no searchable database on day one. That came like way later, and it's super broken, and it sucks. They've redacted a bunch of stuff with no explanation, violating another part of the act. And they're now no longer releasing the rest of the files. And if they do, they're going to also be redacted. None of them will include Trump's name. With dataset 8, a lot of it is like everything the FBI received regarding Epstein. Like every tip-off, everything. And the reason they're doing that is to muddy the waters. Because if you go, well, that stuff's not true, there's no way, then you'll start to believe that about all of it. Oh yeah, I had linked another heavily redacted file. I mean, this is the problem. Oh, did they unredact it? Oh my god. Oh no, they didn't. Sorry. So this is one of the examples I was going to talk about. So there was a file on the DOJ website that was, where's the original file? Hold on, I have to find it. There was one that was released by Biden's DOJ. Yeah, it was this one. I just can't find the unredacted version. So this one right here was originally released by the Biden DOJ. And the Department of Justice redacted the absolute shit out of it. Any mention of Donald Trump, like in this, is just redacted to shit. Like, completely redacted. Do I have the Trump version? Yeah, so here's the Biden DOJ release of this file. Right here. Here's the Trump DOJ release of this file. You notice whose name is redacted from this? Look right here. It's Donald Trump. This right here tells you that there are potentially other mentions of Donald Trump in these files that have been redacted. The Department of Justice said redactions were applied to those documents when they were filed in the respective court cases back in the day. We reproduced the documents as we had them in our possession. Someone said this is false. They were already in the DOJ's possession without redactions previously. DOJ added back in redactions contrary to the Epstein Files Transparency Act. Yet they keep up this lie and keep getting community noted. Yeah. And then, of course, people are dropping fucking AI-generated photos of Trump. Come on, people. There are real photos of him. Come on, stop doing that. Yeah, people like Tim Kaine who look at all this and go, it might be too soon for us to... This is why people like him and Chuck Schumer should be removed and voted out. Genuinely. Low-Kirkuinly. Yeah. So anyways, if any more news comes out about the giant elite pedophile ring, I will surely talk about it, because what the hell?